Peace, love, light of healing, peace, love, light of healing, peace to the gods, peace to the earth. Y'all climb on in. Blessings, family. Mishpati, mishpaka, shalom laka. Blessings, y'all. Y'all climb on in. How y'all feeling? How y'all doing? Yeah, we're going to talk about some things today. Make sure you got your pen and your pads. So, look, I was doing some brain dumping today, y'all. I was just brain dumping. And I do this probably like every other day where I have so much information on my mind, so much information inside of my neurological network that I just got to dump it all down. And, man, today this dump was just mind-blowing. So, y'all see I got the mind dump exercise. And, man, I wrote down a lot of stuff. And these are things that I can just, regurgitate real quick. But today it all came together like a symphony. It came together like an orchestra. It came together like a network. So I wanted to tell y'all about this. So I called it the artificial light is damaging our health. Artificial light is damaging our health. And I just mind dumped and the way it all came together, because in my mind dump, what came out through my neurological network was artificial lights. Another one that came out was cholesterol. Another one that came out was vitamin D. Another one that came out was circadian rhythm, awakening sleep patterns. And as I'm looking and going back through everything, I'm like, oh shit, all of this is connected. So I might as well just make this a little lesson real quick. So y'all climb on in. Peace, gods, peace, earths. How the goddesses doing, how the earths and how the gods doing. Blessings to y'all. Hey, before we get started today, though, I did want to show y'all something. So it's a lot of people pretending to be me. So I want to do a live verification. All right, because a lot of people be taking my pictures. A lot of people are taking my videos. A lot of people are taking my products and posting it on these fake pages and scamming the people for a bunch of money and asking to do readings and stuff like that. I will never ask you for money over the internet. I will never inbox you and say I can do readings. I don't DM people. I barely even respond. I probably respond to 3 people every 6 months, y'all. So if it's somebody DMing you on Instagram, it's not me. If it's somebody inboxing you on Facebook or any other social media platform, it is not me, y'all. So look, y'all, this is my Instagram right here. This is my Instagram. All right, on this Instagram, as of right now, I got 264,000 followers, and I'm only following 4 people. Now, I do have a backup Instagram, but this is my backup Instagram. I'm following it. I'm only following 4 people. One of the people I'm following is myself, y'all. Check it out. And that is I am Yahki Awaken. I only got 1 picture on there, and it's 10,000 followers. I don't post nothing on this page. It's just for backup, just in case they delete my page, because they won't even verify me. They constantly stripping the audio from my videos. They taking and erasing videos from Instagram that I do. They blocking viewers from seeing me. So I don't know if they ever gonna take this page down or not. So just in case, I created this backup page, but I'm following it, y'all. I only follow 4 people. I don't follow no more than that. So if y'all see this and somebody following more than 4 people, it ain't me. If it's somebody that got less than 264,000 followers, it's not me. If it's somebody in your DMs, I don't DM anybody. It's not me. If it's somebody saying that they do readings, I don't do readings. It's not me. If it's somebody telling you to send them money through PayPal or through Cash App or through any other avenue outside of my website, it is not me. I only deal with www.yahkiawaken.com. If they not telling you to go on there and buy or purchase a product from off the website, it is not me, family. It's not me. A lot of y'all have been letting people get y'all. Same thing for Facebook. It's a person on there called itself Master Herbalist Yahki Awaken. That's not me. My actual government name is on my Facebook. Yahki Hickman. That's my Facebook. It ain't no Yahki Awaken on Facebook. It's only Yahki Hickman. That's it. And on here, I got 57,000 followers. 57 to 230 followers. If there's any body reaching out to you on Facebook and it ain't coming from Yahki Hickman and it's spelled like this, it ain't me. So all these people putting up videos and posts saying I'm scamming them. No, I'm not. You getting scammed by somebody else that's pretending to be me. I don't need your money. I don't need to scam for no readings. I make well enough money on my own doing my entrepreneur shit, y'all. So it's not me. So I wanted to put that disclaimer out there because it's a whole lot of people pretending to be me and y'all spending thousands of dollars and then y'all get mad at me. Y'all have to have a spirit of discernment. All right? Tell these people to, if they hitting you up, they should be able to FaceTime you. They should be able to go live on their page, especially on Facebook. It says was live. So if you see a whole Facebook page and you see all my pictures and stuff and they ain't got no post that says was live, it's not me. Straight up, y'all. Talking about they do readings. Hey, love, I do readings. I want to read. I don't do none of that, y'all. So look, y'all wake up, have spiritual discernment. I'm starting to think that y'all want to get God, and I'm starting to think that y'all want to have something negative to say about me. So y'all allow yourselves to get scammed just to make a dumbass post about a person, about somebody that didn't even scam you in the first place. So that's what I'm going to think from now on. So if you make a post and saying I scammed you, and then you put up the pictures of me scamming you, and it's a Negro that got 2,000 followers saying that they can give you a reading, when I clearly just showed you what my pages were and how many followers I got, you wanted to get got, family. All right? Shalom, shalom, lakah. Y'all climb on in. So look, hey, y'all, get y'all pens and y'all pads. I want y'all to run through this with me, man. It's mind-blowing. And I call it a mind dump, y'all. Mind dump. This is everything that I just dumped from my mind within the last 30 minutes. And I want to show y'all how it all coincides with each other. So I named this artificial lights are damaging our health. And I want to show y'all how artificial lights is damaging our health and how we can actually heal ourselves from this, and show y'all that artificial lights is causing at least 45% of all of our so-called diseases. All right. So if y'all ready to get it started, y'all got y'all pens and y'all pads. Make sure y'all type in some 9s, and we're going to go and get it started, y'all. We're going to go and get it started. Hey, peep how this all come together and how it all coincides with each other, and how just the circadian rhythm. I remember doing a video probably like 2.5 years ago on my old Yahki Awaken YouTube before they permanently terminated it, and it was called the circadian rhythm, talking about the biological clock of the so-called African American, or what you would call the Aboriginal American, and they took it down because it was so much information in there that unlocked the keys to your DNA to show you how much of God you was. You know, the YouTube community did not like it at all. They ended up labeling it as hate speech, and they took it down. So this YouTube channel I got now, I re-uploaded it, and they took it back down off of that. And they also took the other ones where I was talking about how we are gods in the flesh. They took that down too. It's so packed with information, y'all, and it shows you how dope and how amazing and how peculiar your body is if you really get into this. And it start making you questioning, damn, why is all these lights around? You know, did y'all realize, or do y'all know that 90% of the day, us as adults and us as children spend it indoors? We spend it indoors. And did you know in a lot of different states, they are now taking recess out of public schools? So the children usually get more natural sunlight than us, but now they're going to be indoors just like us around inside of concrete buildings. And it's impossible for natural sunlight spectrums and sun rays, especially the UVB lights, to penetrate concrete. So it have to make you sit back and wonder, like, damn, why is they building all of these concrete structures? Why are we in concrete buildings? Why, when they do let the children out, they put them on concrete playgrounds so they can't ground? You know, like, everything that's being built and everything that's being structured in this society is actually keeping us from being the natural human beings that we truly are. 90% of the time, or 90% of your 24-hour cycle, you literally spend it indoors away from the sun, when the sun is very vitally important to us because we are children of the sun and we are sun people. We depend on the sun. The sun has over 90,000 different reactions in our bodies, us as Aboriginals. At least it has over at least 45 when it comes to Caucasian, Asians, and any of the other people. So the sun, even though the sun do more damage to them, the sun is vitally important to them as well. So it's very, very important that we sit back and we look what the sun does, study the sun, and study the interaction with the luminaries in our bodies, and study that relationship. And we need to start getting to it. So check this out. Artificial light. Now, if you think about the sun, how the sun is in the skies, the luminaries is in the skies. You have the sun, you have the moon, and then you have the stars. All of these things does something to our biological clock. Inside of each individual cell in your body, when we're talking about the so-called Aboriginal Americans or the melanated ones all across the world, you have 150 trillion cells in your body. When you talk about Caucasians, or you talk about Asians, or anybody in that side of spectrum, they have 30 to 50 trillion cells. So you have 150 trillion cells. And everybody else have 50 trillion cells. Every cell inside of your body actually have a biological clock. Everybody. And this biological clock is actually called a molecular accelerator. a molecular accelerator. And what this molecular accelerator does is when your eyes look at sunlight or any other light, what happens is that light get transferred or decoded into a signal. That signal then goes to each individual cell of your body, and it tells your body how to express or how to interact with its reality. For instance, when you wake up in the morning, the moment you wake up in the morning, the only reason why you truly waking up is because the light code frequency. Usually your body or your skin or your cells see light coming through the window, or somebody cut on a light, or it's just that circadian time that your biological clock have been set to where you rise in the morning. What you're supposed to do is go outside. So you're supposed to rise with the sun, and you're supposed to go outside and look at the sun. When you look at the sun, this is called sun gazing. What this is supposed, and you're supposed to be as naked as possible, family, because your whole skin actually eats the sun. What this sunlight spectrum does, it literally feeds the cells of your body. And then what happens is serotonin was made during the night. Right? Serotonin was made during the night. And then when you wake up, serotonin and cortisol actually be released into the bloodstream. Cortisol is a stress hormone. This stress hormone is supposed to wake you up, kick you in focus. What serotonin does is make you serious, because serotonin actually increases your digestive system. Serotonin makes your blood flow. It increases your mood, your vitamin D. So we need serotonin. Dr. Layla Africa told me that serotonin makes you serious. Melatonin makes you mellow. So throughout the day, your body produces melatonin, and then at night it get released once the sun goes down. But all of this is regulated off of the wake and sleep pattern of what we call the sun and moon spectrum. So when light is out, you're more in a serious mode. Cortisol is actually more inside the bloodstream. Your stress levels are high because stress levels actually make you focus. It makes you more, and that's why stress is not so bad. Everybody think that stress is a bad thing when it's not. Stress is a bad thing when your body is overstressed and it don't go off the biological clock. But if you're stressed out between the hours of, I say 12 and 3, then you got a little stress or a little cortisol and a little epinephrine building up in your system between 6 a.m. and 12 a.m. This is good for the body, because this is how you actually get most of your work done, through stress molecules called cortisol. Now, if you got cortisol in your system and in between your tissues and in your bloodstream all throughout the day, even when melatonin is supposed to kick in and you're supposed to be relaxing, being mellow to go to sleep, then now, of course, we got a problem, because it's actually interfering with the awakening and sleep pattern. So I'm going to show y'all. I'm going to take my phone off this thing and show y'all, because I got spectrums and everything. So let me do this and show y'all how this works. It's crazy, y'all. So check this out. Let me turn my phone. Can y'all see this? All right. So look, this is the actual sun spectrum, y'all. This is the sun spectrum. All right. Now notice. So artificial lights, like these lights right here, this is what you would call an artificial light. You see that? Now notice this one is more red than these. All right. Now check this out. So this is actually, when you wake up in the morning, the sun is actually this spectrum. It's mixed with actual blue lights and it's mixed with red lights, right? But when the sun gets high noon between 12 and 1, it actually is straight blue lights. Now, this is talking about normalized intensity, and this is talking about normalized intensity. Notice this is from a commercial LED screen, and this is natural sunlight. These things do different things to the body. Look at the blue light spectrum and how it spike, and it stay that way. When you go outside and you look at the natural sun, it actually shape itself like a rainbow, how it emit lights through you throughout the day, right? And this keep you in a normal spectrum, and it keeps your circadian rhythm, or what you would call your biological clock, in a balance. But when you start being around lights like your cell phone or your laptop, or lights in your house, lights over your stove, street lights, all of these, you are subjected to this blue light intensity every single minute of the day. This shit is killing us, y'all, because this brings on a different neurological functioning and hormone functioning inside of your body. So look, check this out on my mind dump paper. This is my mind dump. I do this every other day where I mind dump, y'all, where whatever's in my mind. So things are going to be spelled a little differently, probably wrong, because I literally just wrote this up real fast. This is stuff that's on my mind. And we're talking about artificial lights damaging our health. Notice the natural light is the sun, the moon, the stars, and the luminaries. Artificial lights is light bulbs, street lights, laptops, cell phones, and etc. Now check this out, y'all. This is what I wrote down. You will never just see blue lights in nature. So blue lights will never be in nature. You'll never just see that. It's always mixed with something. So when you look at the sun, guess what it's mixed with? It's mixed with blue light and it's mixed with red light. That's the reason why they have things like red light therapy, because red lights actually heals the body. Red lights actually brings serotonin and dopamine throughout the bloodstream. Blue lights make you serious. Blue lights bring on serotonin. Blue lights make you intense, and it actually kicks up cortisol, or what you call the stress hormone within the body. So when you first wake up and you go outside and you see that little red sun, the sun look like it's red. The reason why it looks red is because it's mixed with red and blue light coding spectrums. And that's to actually bring up serotonin, dopamine, and cortisol within the blood, for you can be happy. You can start stretching. You getting ready to want to eat something. You feel real thirsty to drink some water. You getting ready to start your day. Notice it starts decreasing melatonin, because melatonin was being produced throughout the night in your bloodstream to actually keep you asleep, or keep you in that theta state, or that delta sleeping REM state. You see that? So even the sun and how it goes through its different portals, and it goes through its circadian rhythm, is made to actually assimilate with our body. So imagine you waking up and the first thing you do is turn on your lights while natural light is in your house. No, the first thing you need to do when you wake up is to open all of your blinds. Bring as much natural sunlight you can into your house. And this is what I'm talking about if you don't live in Florida, or if you don't live in the tropics and you stay somewhere like St. Louis, Missouri, where it gets cold as hell in the winter. All right, you can stay inside of your heat, but make sure that you opening up all the blinds to bring in as much natural light as possible. Turn off the regular lights. The only time you should have on lights in your house if you really need them. If, to be honest with you, when the sun go down, you supposed to turn the lights off. Same thing with your computer. If you're on your computer, if you're on your laptop, or if you're on your phone, make sure you turn in the light all the way down. There's even glasses that you can look. This is becoming This is becoming so important and prominent in the community dealing with our health, that they even created glasses, red glasses that you can put on your eyes to convert the LDL blue lights into red lights, because it is killing us, y'all. I'm not playing with you. Now, we're going to show y'all studies of this stuff. I'm going to show you studies of this, showing you how these lights, this artificial light, is killing us, because it is tricking our minds to thinking there's light outside all day. So your body's going to be producing the natural chemicals that it produces in the day all day, when these chemicals supposed to be shut off. For one, like I said, epinephrine, norepinephrine, cortisol, that's not supposed to be produced in a 24-hour cycle. That is bad on the blood. It is strenuous and stressful on the heart, and it's actually an endocrine disruptor. And it brings on high yielding estrogen in the body. That's why you see people that's around lights all day that don't get any sleep. They tend to gain visceral fat, because visceral fat have to be actually created to hold something called adipose tissues. And what adipose tissues is, these are fat cells, and adipose tissues are only created to swallow or gobble up or to be a storage for estrogen. And the more estrogen you build up in your system, because the artificial blue lights is messing with your thyroid, because you producing vitamin D, you producing all types of vitamins you're not supposed to be producing during those days. So now estrogen is being built up in the system. So since estrogen is being built up in the system, the body gonna be like, hell, I need somewhere to store all of this over excessive estrogen buildup. So what it's gonna do is going to recreate, or it's going to reproduce something called adipose tissues. These adipose tissues are literally fat cells to store estrogen. So the more estrogen you have, the more fat you have. That's why you see men with high estrogen start growing man boobs, or they start growing a lot of visceral fat around the hips and the buttocks area. That's because you holding all that estrogen, because you're being tricked by artificial lights, and you being around lights all damn day. And this is tripping your thyroid, and your thyroid is tripping cholesterol. Cholesterol is making sexual hormones. And all of a sudden you creating one sexual hormone more than the other, which is actually your estrogen or estrogen. And the shit got to get stored somewhere. So the body gonna create fat to store it. So you wonder why you doing everything right in your life. You eating right, everything you doing, you working out, you meditating, you doing everything possible, but you can't get rid of that stubborn visceral fat, or you can't get rid of your man boobs. You never check the lights. You never check these. You never check these lights. See that? So it behooves us to start turning these lights off. Did you know artificial sunlight or artificial light actually raise testosterone in females, and they actually have them growing beards and growing mustaches and stuff like that? Artificial lights, because it's an endocrine disruptor. We need the sun. We truly don't need these. These should only be used for cases like this. The sun is going down outside. I needed to teach y'all something and share my thoughts with y'all. I couldn't do it in complete darkness. I honestly should be doing these lives outside in the sun like I used to, but I done got all fancy and shit. So I have to come in and cut these lights on for a couple of hours to teach y'all. But after that, I shouldn't have no more lights. And of course, we got cars, street lights. How many of y'all go to sleep and y'all see street lights creeping in through y'all window? How many of y'all go to sleep with the actual TV on, which is another blue LED screen light? How many of y'all go to sleep with the phone in your face doing this or scrolling up and down on Facebook or TikTok or YouTube or Instagram? All of this is these blue lights. And did y'all know that blue light, this actually causes cancer? Look, if you think I'm playing, let's pull up some articles. And this is from the government's own mouth. This is not from me. Check this out, y'all. Let me change this camera around. Look at this. Association between artificial light at night and the risk of what? Thyroid cancer. A large U.S. cohort study. And you start reading into this study, it is showing you how being around artificial lights all day actually kills the thyroid, make the thyroid acidic, mess with the actual hormones that the thyroid are regulating, like iodine, and we wonder why a lot of us is iodine deficient. That's because you're around blue lights all day. This literally sucks and take energy from your body. Not only that, it dehydrates your cells and it actually turns your cholesterol into calcium or what? Let me not say that right. I said that wrong. It actually solidifies or calcifies your cholesterol. Yes. And it strips your body of vitamin D because it's producing way too much of it. And one thing I learned about the endocrine system and what we call the glandular highway or the 7 glands in our body is the more and more you use them when they're not supposed to be used, they stop working. If they see it's being produced synthetically, they say, look, they are the laziest glands in the body. Soon as they see a hormone being produced that they didn't have to work for, they say, well, hell, I'm not finna produce no more anyway. I like the synthetic kind. That's why when people get on different types of high blood pressure medication or people get on like something like Synthroid or these different types of thyroid medication, notice they thyroid go completely down and stop making the hormone completely because it don't need to. It feel like, damn, somebody else doing the work for me. I don't have to do it no more. That's what these LED lights is doing for us. It is tricking our body to making us feel like we don't need the sun when we do, because there's certain things that we get from natural sunlight that we cannot get from the blue light spectrum. And the reason why is because the blue light spectrum does not yield or increase red light. And red light therapy is what we need to bring the body serotonin and melatonin inside of our body. It actually regulates the cortisol and it regulates your happy dopamine hormone chemistry. So the first thing you do, you're supposed to rise with the sun. Let's say if the Gregorian calendar and these people didn't mess with our times, that should be like 6 a.m. So you rise with the sun at 6 a.m. Soon as you get up with the sun, if you're in the winter and you in like the Midwest, Colorado, or you in Chicago or something like that, open up your blinds to bring the sunlight in. Wherever the sunlight is coming directly in at, sit your ass in front of that sun for at least 30 minutes. Do it booty butthole naked if you can. Now, if the children running around and stuff like that, keep your boxers on. And women, keep your bras and your panties on. But these are your children. You should be able to at least be in that and they be comfortable. And sit in front of that sun and make they little butt sit down with you. Make them sit down with you. Keep they pamper or they pull up or they drawers on and make them sit in front of that sun with you. That way you can eat the sun. Because when you're eating the sun, now all of a sudden your biological clock is now matching the circadian rhythm of the sun, and you're eating with the sun and you're rising with the sun. This will actually set your mood. Serotonin will set in. Now, once serotonin set in, dopamine get excreted. Once dopamine is excreted, you starting to get happy. Starting to get happy. Next thing you know, your stomach start rumbling because serotonin actually bring on your hunger hormone. So now your belly growling. Now you want to eat something or drink some water. Not only that, check out what I wrote, y'all. Now look, this is how my mind works. Let me change it. So look, this how I did it. All right, so at 6 a.m., you rise with the sun. At 12 p.m., we call it high noon. At 3 p.m., the sun starts heading west. At 6 p.m., the sun starts to set. So look, I drew lines, y'all. So look, This is red and blue spectrum, right? This is the red and blue spectrum. This is where serotonin, dopamine, melatonin starts going down, and then you got cortisol that get kicked up into the system. This actually makes your digestive system very active. That's why when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you got to do is what? Take a dump. And the secretion of urine. You got to pee and poop when you get up. That's because the red and blue light from the sun is working properly. Then after that, you start kicking. So once 12 p.m. or high noon come, guess what I drew? Now you got the blue and red light spectrum. So notice, red is over the blue. In the morning or in the rising, you have more red sunlight than blue light. But in the high noon, you have more blue than red. See that? So when you got more blue than red, we'll say 90% blue, 10% red, which is not in these, y'all. That's not in these. This is only by nature. This is only by the sun, family. This is where serotonin actually goes throughout the day, and cortisol and epinephrine and norepinephrine get kicked in. Guess what this does? This stimulates appetite. That's why you're supposed to eat with the sun. When the sun is the highest in the sky, you eat with the sun. I know I spelled appetite wrong. Y'all ain't got to tell me. Again, I'm sharing my notes with y'all. I'm sharing some sacred stuff with y'all. All right, this came straight from my brain to pen to paper, y'all, and I went live. Then this is why you're the most focused. From this, it brings on energy, ATP production at its all-time highest. From there, you got workflow and you got fat burning. So during this time, from 12 to 3, all of this is happening, showing you when you truly supposed to be getting all your work done. A lot of people think we're supposed to get our work done in the morning. No, there's supposed to be 2 shifts. You have the morning shift where you work on meditation, where you work on your magic, like moving things with your mind. You work on breath, diaphragmatic breathing. You work on all these things. Then at 12, and notice everything I'm saying, you're supposed to be outside during these times. So you're supposed to be outside at 6 a.m. You're supposed to be out for an hour, 6 to 7. If you can, be outside. If you can't be outside, make sure you by the window doing everything you need to be doing by the sun or in the sun. Second one, at 12 high noon, you're supposed to be outside in the sun, eating with the sun. If you can't, make sure that you somewhere where a lot of sunlight is coming in. Then at 3 p.m., when the sun is heading west, this going back to its red. Notice when the sun go down, it turned back to the red and blue light. It starts dimming again. See that? Red and blue light again. This time, you notice the blue is over the red in this one. The red is over the blue in this one. But when you get to that 3 o'clock, notice red and blue is equal. This is a immune functioning activation, or what I call lymphatic defense system activation. This is where your body is starting to get ready for nighttime. And the reason why it's getting ready for nighttime, because when you go to sleep and melatonin is being produced in the body, you have something called glutathione and NRF2 pathways that's starting to be opened up while you sleep, for your body can repair itself, for your body can detoxify and all of those things. And that's the reason why when you wake up in the morning, you actually have to go and take a poop. Now, again, these times is not going to be the same because there's a different time zone wherever we at, and then they mess with the Gregorian calendar. So that's what I'm saying. But ideal is in a 24-hour or a 12 by 12 aspect, 6 to 6. And within that 6, you got 6, 12, 3, and 6. And depending on that, that's how you regulate your day, and that's how you go by. So then you got this. So I said at 3, you head in west. That's when, let me turn it back so y'all can see my notes. That's when the immunological system is activated. Then you see at 6 p.m., the sun starts to set. The moment that the sun starts to set, this is where actually, because remember, melatonin was being made throughout the day by the pineal gland, right? Now it get released at night. Just like serotonin is being made while you sleep, but serotonin get released during the day, right? Y'all see how that go? If y'all got what I'm saying so far, type in some 9s. The comments are distracting. Let me see if I can cut them off. Is it a way for me to cut them off, y'all? I'll cut these deals off. They always do that. It's a bunch of children up in here, family. Y'all got to ignore these people. It's a bunch of children in here, a bunch of so-called teachers up in here that don't know what the hell they be talking about. So y'all just, I'm going to repost this. Y'all just ignore the comment board. And for now on, when I go live, I'm just going to keep the comment board off. That's what I'll do for now on, family. All right, perfect. Now check this out. Let's see what else happened. So look, so we see that association between artificial light and sunlight actually increases the risk of thyroid cancer. Not only that, family, look at this one. This talk about light pollution. light and night and breast cancer risk worldwide. And it showed you how several study was done for the last decade. And it showed you that the modern practice of keeping the body exposed to artificial light at night actually increases breast cancer. And we wonder why a lot of women have triple negative invasive breast cancer. And then you start doing the process of elimination and you start taking all the factors out that actually causes cancer. You be like, damn, how you got it? But we never question the lights. We never talked about the blue lights. And that's the reason why I think that everybody should go on Amazon and order red lights and actually put them up in their house, or get some candles and get your candle game up. Now, I'm not saying that we didn't have artificial lights back then in the Egyptian Kemetic time or in the Sumerian time. It's all over the tablets. We see that they had artificial lights. It's all over the Canaic form tablets. It's all over the hieroglyphics. We know that they used them, but they did not use them like we using them now. They didn't. They did not use them like we're using them now. Look, they use natural sunlight to the point where they even cut out certain sections of the pyramids to allow natural light in, and the other ones to allow the moon and Orion's belt to be shown, because they was transporting their consciousness to different celestial bodies and stuff. So they even predominantly was regulated off of natural sunlight and natural moonlight and natural starlight. We're the only people in society that's letting our own technology kill us, family. Flat out. And that's just the truth. Now, the crazy thing about this is we're not in the sun enough to actually get vitamin D. And we understand that if our bodies have 150 trillion cells, the 150 trillion cells, each one of them have a vitamin D receptor. This shows you how important vitamin D is to our bodies. Vitamin D, or vitamin D, which is not really a vitamin, it's actually a hormone. And remember that I said that. So vitamin D is not even a vitamin, y'all. It's not a vitamin, it's actually a hormone. And remember, I was telling y'all that these blue lights being around them actually disrupt our hormones, right? And that's the reason why a lot of men are obese, or a lot of women are obese, because it's truly messing with the actual estrogen and the testosterone within our bodies. And in males, it actually decreases testosterone and it raises the estrogen molecule, which make you fat. In women, it actually decreases estrogen and it raises testosterone. And that's why a lot of women have more alpha male mindsets. They start getting predominantly bold faces. They start growing facial hairs. They start getting hair in the middle of their chest. They get brittle nails because they having too much testosterone. All this is body's LED lights. And it's a couple chemical factors in food. But right now, we're just speaking on the light code frequency and the light code spectrum. Now, what's crazy is you spending all of your time away from the natural sun when you were children from the sun. So you are in this building 90% of your day and you're not getting the natural sunlight. So your body is not producing the right amount of vitamin D. Now, we all know that vitamin D is actually produced by something called cholesterol. And that's the crazy thing, that everybody think that LDL and HDL and LDL cholesterol is bad when it's not. It's impossible for you to live without cholesterol. Without cholesterol, you will die. The body, the black man's or the aboriginal body or the black woman's body have 150 trillion cells. Each of these cells are created or made of something called a cellular membrane. The cellular membrane is actually made of 33% cholesterol. All right. Now, what cholesterol is a part of, it's a lipid. It's a lipid base. It's like a fatty oil. And not only does it make the cellular membrane, but it's used to transport neurons throughout the body for the body to communicate with itself. So without cholesterol, your cells won't have a brain. Everybody think that the brain of the cells is the actual gonads of the cells, what we call the cell nucleus or new sun. No, that's just where the blueprint of the cell is at. That's the instructions and information on how a cell rebuilds itself. That's not the thinking faculty of the cell. The thinking faculty of the cell is the cellular membrane. Just like the skin is on our body, it actually thinks for us. Your hair scans the environment, bring back signals. These signals then attach to the cellular membrane wall, and it tells you how to respond to your environment, whether to take fight or flight and run, or whether to stand up and be bold or fight, or whether to chill and produce dopamine or oxytocin for you can be in love or you can be happy. All this is by way of the hair of your skin scanning the environment. Same thing with the actual cellular membrane around each cell. These things have so many different melanin receptors and melanin neuroreceptors to them that when you actually get a signal from the environment, it goes to these receptors in your cells and it connects to the cellular membrane. So without the cellular membrane, your cells can't even be provided any type of information. And guess what the cellular membrane is made of? Cholesterol. Cholesterol. And we can go so on and so forth. Another thing is when you get scabs or when your cells become damaged or your eternal or what they call internal organs or being ate up by acidic acids, guess what goes and patch up the handiwork. So just same thing as if you put a hole in a wall and you have to patch up the wall and you put putty in it. That's what cholesterol does to the holes that are being accumulated inside of your eternal organs or what y'all call internal organs because the acids is blowing back. You see what I'm saying? Cholesterol is crazy. Now check this out. When the sun rays, not only the red light spectrum and the blue light and the green light spectrum hits the sun, but even if it's blue light, when it hits your skin, you have this cholesterol base that's in the epithelial layer of your skin. Right under the surface of your skin, right? When it hits that, it hits something called a D protein. What this D amino acid structure does is it grabs a hold of the UVB light, right? And then it turns it into a signal. Then what happens is cholesterol would take that protein, become a transport, right? And then it'll shoot it to the liver. Now, when it gets to the liver, it'll start creating something called cholecalciferol. Now, cholecalciferol is then created to calciferol, and this is where you get your vitamin D3 from the actual liver and the kidney plus your skin. By way of what, y'all? Cholesterol. Not only that, cholesterol makes up something called bile, and bile is actually created by the gallbladder in the liver. And what this bile does, bile actually breaks down saturated and unsaturated fats. Guess what needs fat to actually even function properly? Your brain. Do you realize that's really the only thing our brain eats? Our brain cells neurological cells don't eat nothing but fats, y'all. Yes, fats. I'm telling you, look this stuff up. So without cholesterol, it will be impossible for you to live for at least 7 minutes. 7 minutes of your body being completely drained of cholesterol, whether we talking about VLDL, LDL, or HDL, you will die. Same thing as mucus, because there is no difference between cholesterol, mucus, and lymphatic fluid. They're all the same things. The different elements is off probably about 2 or 3, and it changes the molecular structure, and then we call them a different name. Just like there's no difference between carbon, melanin, and sugar. They're all the same thing. They mixing their molecules, so we call them different names. But notice all of this stuff is stimulated by natural sunlight, and then it get tricked by artificial sunlight to be working and producing itself all throughout the day. You then start weakening the glands because you working them way too hard, and they stop producing altogether. Now we got irritable bowel syndrome. You see that? Because remember, when you get up at 6, what this say? Hold on, let me take y'all back to the notes. Because when you get up at 6 a.m., remember, serotonin, dopamine, melatonin is being decreased, cortisol is being increased. So now serotonin is actually doing what? Digestion and secretion of urine. What happened if this is all throughout the day? Now you got something called irritable bowel syndrome. You creating something called Crohn's disease. You see that? So I can go through each of these because these supposed to be sun rays, y'all. That's what, in my mind, that's what they was. They were sun rays, and each different ray of light do something different. That's why I call this mind dump exercise. So check this out. So when you producing all these things, each of these make a different type of emotional and actually action inside of the body. If they be produced too much, you start digesting too much. They call this SIBO. They call it Crohn's disease. They call it IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. They call it the obstruction of the colon wall, a prolapsed transverse colon, a constipated sigmoid colon. All because you what? You out in front of the sunlight wrong. So this is what I think. I think to truly heal ourselves of this is to be in artificial light less as possible, and make sure that we at least outside 4 times a day. And if we can't be outside 4 times a day, when we out during these hours like 6 a.m., get a whole hour in if you can. 12 p.m., get a whole hour in if you can. 3 p.m., get a whole hour in if you can. 6 p.m., get a whole hour in if you can. And if you can't, cut down the hours or make sure that you're in the building that you can allow this sunlight in. It's best to walk during these times too, because you're increasing ATP. You're getting a lot of glucose to the cells. The mitochondria will love the glucose and the carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide, and to turn these things into water, and it will yield you a lot of vitality. So it's best that we get outside during these hours. Now, another thing is too, you can go on Amazon and you can actually buy you red light glasses, where the red glasses will convert these blue lights into red lights. And y'all need to look up red light therapy too, showing you how it heals the body internally, y'all. I mean, red light therapy is amazing. So we have to we got to stop ourselves from blocking the sun for ourselves. They already doing it enough. They building all these skyscrapers blocking the suns. That's why if you go, like, for instance, a place like New York is crazy when it comes to LED lights. They got all of the skyscrapers. Not only do they got the skyscrapers, they got all of the billboards on the skyscrapers. They got 50 by 50 feet TVs on the skyscrapers. It's so much LED screens coming from the buildings, coming from the street lamps, coming from the cars, coming from everywhere, that if you went into the mountains and you seen complete darkness, you would look at the moon and the stars and you would think that the heavens was falling, because you never even seen how the luminaries look, because you are so used to being blinded by the LED screens. You see what I'm saying? So like, and I think everybody need to do that. Take a ride to the mountains, take a ride to Arizona, take a ride to Colorado, stay in the caverns where it's completely dark at and there is no sunlight at, and actually sit out there during the dark, don't light no candles or nothing, and actually look at the stars, the luminaries and the moon. It will blow your mind how beautiful they are. But you would never know that or even know how they look. It was something happened probably like I think they said 40 years ago, where a major earthquake happened. Whenever a major, I might be lying on the 40 years. Forgive me, family. 40, 50, something like that, where a major earthquake happened in California. And this man actually took a picture of the sky that day, because he said the sky just looked cloudy that day and the earthquake happened. So he took a picture of it. After the earthquake happened, y'all, it caused a complete grid blackout where it was pitch black in Cali, y'all. Not a spectrum of light was coming from Cali, except for Negroes and white people with generators. They probably got to keep something up, gas ran generators. But the whole entire state had a blackout due to that heavy earthquake that came through. The man had his camera though. His camera don't need don't need to be plugged up to work. Do you know they had reports and calls after the lights came back on that they thought that a cloud was in the middle of the sky, and a dude took a picture of it and it wasn't a cloud. It was actually the freaking Milky Way. You see Milky Ways, the clusters. It was the most beautiful thing. It literally looked like heaven came to earth, and they never seen something like this in their life. They thought it was a damn cloud and a spaceship coming, but it was actually the luminaries, but they never seen it because they've been around LED lights all day life. We never even seen our own luminaries because all these artificial lights. How do we expect to actually connect with the cosmos and connect with the ethers when we have all this light pollution interfering with our biological clock and our circadian rhythm? That's what I'm saying. And that's why we need to get blindfolders at night. Actually cover your eyes up to block out, because sometimes you can't, there's no switch on street pole lights. Like me, at one of the properties I got, there's a street pole light right in front of my freaking room, y'all. I mean, it's right there. It's so bright that even dark curtains, it creeps through the dark curtains at night. So I literally had to buy some blindfolders and to cover my eyes up for I can't see a damn thing. You see what I'm saying? Because that light is actually disrupting my wake and my sleep pattern. And we wake up and we wonder why we so tired, because you weren't able to go to a Delta RAM deep sleep because you were actually interacting with lights all throughout the night while you thinking you sleep when you really not. You on the borderline of sleep and awake at this time, because your cells are still reacting to the light like you awake, y'all. You see what I'm saying? I hope y'all really get what I'm saying. So we are tricking our bodies. Not only are we tricking our bodies, but we're tricking our glandular highways. Not only are we tricking our glandular highways, we're tricking cholecalciferol, which is the LDL cholesterol and HDL cholesterol that we need to convert vitamin D into vitamin D3 and vitamin D2, for you can have all these hormone receptors for you can live your everyday life. We're getting fat off this stuff. We're tricking our bodies to thinking it's hungry when it's not. And you wonder why you hungry at 9 p.m. because you in a room full of artificial suns. You in a room full of artificial suns and you wonder why your appetite is stimulated. Turn off the damn lights and you can actually trick the body to going back into the circadian rhythm and more melatonin to start being released through the bloodstream. And guess what that do? That shuts off your hunger. Now we know where sleepwalking come in at, or late night snacking come in at. I bet you don't have these late night snacking thoughts if all the lights were off in the house. And then we have become so freaking scared of the dark and have the lights on so much. The moment you cut all the lights off, your children gonna think of a boogeyman under the bed, because you have them subjected and addicted to these lights all day. Your phone should go off at a certain time, family. Certain time. It really supposed to go off when the sun goes down. Your laptop, your computer is supposed to go off. And then it's a study done showing how night shift people die much faster and have cardiac arrest much faster than people that have day shift jobs. Showing you that it is completely mind-boggling and mind-effing people that work graveyard shifts. And if you look at the damn name graveyard shift, it should tell you right then and there what it really is. Graveyard shift. It's going to send your ass straight to the graveyard because you up all night working and doing extremities and all this vigorous work that you're supposed to be doing in the rising, particularly between 12 p.m. and 3 p.m. So we just got to jump back into the circadian rhythm. We got to jump back into the natural order of nature. You keep going against nature, nature going to kill your ass. Just spitting facts, family. Facts. So that's what I suggest you do, family. So when you wake up, 6 a.m., glass of water, glass of H2O, H3O2, or a glass of H2O. I don't care. A lot of people want to argue that fact. H3O2, until I transition, that's all I drink. But if you can't afford to drink H2O2, you can't get coconut water, you can't get fruit juice, then get you some H2O. Just please make sure it's naturally alkaline and naturally spring water with electrolytes and minerals. Naturally. Not none that a man got to put and make it alkaline. Stay away from that damn water. All right, go outside, sit in the sun. If you can't sit in the sun, sit by the sun in your living room, open up all the lights. All right, that's the first thing. Drinking. Don't eat nothing or don't put nothing in your body until the sun rises as high as it can in the sky. And that is literally between 12 and 1 p.m. or what you would call noonday. All right, that's when you eat with the sun because the sun is eating at that time. It's having an intellectual exchange between itself, the fruits, the grass. It's giving them sulfur. It's giving them carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide. They're converting that to oxygen and they're breathing that out and giving it to you. You then breathe in that oxygen and you breathe out carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide. The plants breathe that back in and then they give it back to the sun. There is literally a sexual interchange or a sexual conversation going on there. And the reason why I'm calling it sexual because the male act as an actual masculine entity. Earth acts as a female entity. And then we are males and female, which is masculine and feminine. And we're all exchanging information. When masculine and feminine exchange information, scientifically, that is called sex. And a creation comes from it. New thoughts. New thoughts are born or birthed. You see what I'm saying? New businesses are made. You know, new intellectual properties are established. So that's sex. So it's scientifically. So in order for you to have that, you have to get away from all the artificial things, all this artificial intelligence. AI is literally killing us, family, and we don't know it. We don't truly know it. So again, 6 a.m. or when you rise with the sun. Drink you some H3O2 or drink you some H2O. Make sure that you stretching it and you doing your breath work, diaphragmatic breathing, in through the nasal passage. Call it box breathing. In through the nasal passage, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. Keep your tongue literally at the tip of your teeth and at the palate of your mouth. Hold that. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to pineate us. That's going to stimulate the pineal gland. Then you're going to actually release it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you hold again. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's called box breathing. So it's box breathe. Do it for like 15 minutes with the sun. Then get into your yoga. Make sure that you stretch it and moving your hips so you can unlock trauma. You can bring in more past life memories. Like the sun, it will feed you, y'all. The sun is a creator within itself. Everything was created under the red spectrum light at 432 terahertz. That's where all creation actually permeates into existence. So imagine you mixing that with the blue code spectrum in that sun. It's a bunch of things that's going on and a lot of communication going on that's not verbal. This is non-verbal communication that's going on. Like straight up, same thing with your fruits. They're communicating. All of those biophotons and on light code frequencies are being beat and permeated on the fruits. Then you go eat the fruits and you download all of that information. See that it's an exchange. You can't do that with these damn artificial lights. You can't, family. So again, once that happens, so you drink your water at 6, you do your yoga, you do your box breathing, you can do some diaphragmatic breaths, you can do fire breaths. You can do some DMT breathing, whatever breathing you choose to do. After that, you start unwinding, right? Or you get some work done, whatever you need to do. Then at 12 p.m., that's when the sun is the highest in the sky. This is when you're going to eat. And the reason why you're going to eat is because now you got serotonin. Not only do you got serotonin, but you got cortisol and you got epinephrine and norepinephrine. Remember, this is going to turn on your appetite. It's going to make you focus more. It's going to turn on your energy and your workflow and your fat burning. So this is the best time to eat. Best time to eat. Once you get done eating, wait 30 minutes, then get into a good workout because you have more energy and you're producing more ATP at this time. So this is the best time to truly get it in. A lot of people think you're supposed to work out in the morning. Why would you work out in the morning? Cortisol is just being released into the system. Dopamine is more in the system. Dopamine is your happy hormone. You're supposed to do what makes you the most happy. And this is silence. This is listening. This is downloading information. You see that? Serotonin is now, look, melatonin is finally being decreased at this time. So you wouldn't want to be in astringent workouts at 6 in the morning. I think you should be in your most astringent workouts between 12 and 3 p.m. when the sun is as high as in the sky and you actually adapting and getting the most ATP you can throughout the cells for your cells can get the most oxygen to the mitochondria of the DNA. All right. Now, then you go into 3 p.m. This is when the sun starts heading down. 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. This is your winding down time. This is when you spend time with the family. This is when, you do things like that. You can sit down and read books with the family. Maybe y'all want to get a little LED blue light time in. Y'all can watch a movie together. Y'all can play games, play some chess, checkers. This your winding down time. That way, when 6 p.m. hit, now melatonin is being produced and you ready to go to sleep. It's time to shut the house down by 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, shit should be shut down. You shouldn't even be able to see your hand in the crib. It should be so dark in that deal. That means Wi-Fi got to be unplugged too. Trust me, I done did it. I just shut the whole house down, cut off everything and left the Wi-Fi plugged up. And that's, I see light from the Wi-Fi, light from the alarm. So I be having to cover my alarm panel up because that mug will brighten the whole damn house by itself. So I put tape and I put a bunch of papers over that and I completely unplug my Wi-Fi. Yeah, now we in darkness. Now melatonin is coming in. Yes, the theta state of your brain kicking in. See that? Now paranormal activity. Now it's time for you to go talk to God. You see what I'm saying? But all of this brings on healing modalities to the body just by regulating lights regular. All you got to do is start cutting off these damn lights and that will heal you. If y'all got what I'm saying so far, type in some 9s. No, the heaviest meals is not between 3 and 6. The heaviest meals is between 12 and 3 p.m. Why would you eat something right at 6? That's when your digestive system start kicking in. Glutathione's going to start being made around 7 or 8 o'clock. So you don't want your last meal to be at 6 at all. You probably do a little snack right then and there. But your meal is supposed to be when your digestive system is the most active. It's its most active between 12 and 3. I'm glad y'all get that. Y'all got any questions for me? I answer some questions real quick. Let me put y'all back up here. Oh, I ain't even show y'all the rest of these articles. Hold on. Let me show y'all the rest of these real quick. So that one, what's the other one? Here go another one right here, family. Check this one out. Exposure to artificial lights at night. A common link for obesity. Look at that. Obesity. And what? Cancer. Look at all the doctors and scientists' name. I ain't making this stuff up. Yes. Look, here go the article. Here go the website right here. Look this stuff up. Got another one too. Check this out. Misbalance of thyroid hormones after 2 weeks of exposure to artificial lights at night. Whole article, family. See that? We don't have to make this stuff up. Check it out. Every cell in our bodies have its very own clock. Unlike the clocks we are used to, the clocks in your cells, because remember, every cell in your body actually have a clock. All right. It says like the clock in your cells have no cogs or gears. They are biological. Our biological clocks keep near perfect time within a 24-hour cycle of light and dark on Earth. We call this regular daily cycles and circadian rhythm. And that's the reason why you see that, like, I think it's Alaska, where it gets 6 months light and 6 months dark. Notice during their dark time where the sun is not orbiting through that area, depression go up, suicides go up, job loss go up, bank robberies go up, violent crimes go up, the decrease of being procreative go up, meaning they don't have babies. They're not getting pregnant during that time. For a whole 6 months, it's damn near, it's mayhem. And then when the 6 months come, where it's light outside for the entire 6 months, notice they diseases go up. Because the light is out so much, even though they happy and they're producing dopamine, they going schizophrenia crazy because they're producing too much stress hormones, too much cortisol, too much epinephrine, too much norepinephrine mixed with dopamine. This gives you multiple personalities. This make you bipolar. Bipolarism go up. Notice in that time, you see children with ADHD. Yes, children are on to all types of Adderall and stuff like that because it's light out too much. And we wonder why children be jumping and bouncing at 12 p.m. because you got every light in the damn house on. Or you got a big screen TV and you keeping that on and you wonder why they bouncing off the wall. You wonder why they can't focus or pay attention because they are addicted to the LED screens. Most of these diseases that they saying come from everything is coming from these damn lights. You want to whoop their ass, lay your butt down. Make it completely dark in the house. They body will get on the circadian rhythm. They minds will, and then y'all giving all these children melatonin supplements. Turn the lights off. That will produce melatonin supplements naturally. Naturally, family. I'm just fan. And I know it's a simple concept, but it ain't that common. It ain't that simple because we are all suffering from it, family. No BS, man. No BS. I'm going to say it live. All right, I'm going to answer questions. Is candlelight bad? No, see, look, good question, family. Candlelight is not bad because candlelight is made of what? What light code spectrum do y'all see? What light code spectrum? I see blue light at the bottom. Then I see blue light mixing with what, family? Tell me right now. I see blue, I see orange, and I see red. See that? This is perfect light spectrum. This is a natural lighting element. So candlelights is great for the body. Candlelights is great therapy because it's not only blue light. Yeah, you see that? Red on the top, orange in the middle, blue at the bottom. So let's go back to the computer. Let's pull up the light code spectrum and let's see what frequencies we get in our body, family. Let's see. All right, I see blue. So we getting between 425 and 450 terahertz wavelengths into us. Then we got orange, where we getting into 600, and we getting into like 675, and then we got red between 725 and 750. So these, oh my bad, I got my finger in there. Got my finger in the way. So this is a good light code frequency that we can be in. That's why I love doing fire meditation and staring into the flame while I meditate. Or I love sun gazing and staring into the sun while I meditate because it's bringing all types of different neuromelanin transmitters back through the eyelids. You see that it goes through the photoreceptors, the rods and the cones, or what we call the hair inside the eyes. It hits the pigment epithelial layer of the cells, and then it starts bouncing off these different lenses, and this is how you see. See that? Y'all notice all these hairs. Remember, I talk about this a lot in my seminars. Light is important. We are light vehicles. We are light beings. We are light bodies. Our bodies is electrical and is fueled by light photons. That's why it's called biophotons. That's why when you cook your food and you cook the biophotons and the enzymes out of your food, the food become dead. The food become dead when you cook the light or the life out of it. All light and life is the same thing. That's why you have to eat living food that was grown by the light, that you don't put a fire to, because the fire will cook out the enzymes and the biophotons. This is what creates your 6th and your 7th sense. This is how you're able to talk and connect with God. That's why it's crazy that people think that they can have this ultimate personal relationship with God with death in their mouth, death in their bellies, death on their minds, death on their fingertips, death and the stench of death in their nose. It's like, come on, man. What God are we talking about here? Are you talking about your higher self? You talking to your higher self like when we know that cooking food lowers the frequencies and the angstroms of energies and the hertz of the food, which means it will lower your autonomic nervous system output of your own body. But we all call ourselves, being in communication with the higher ups or with our higher selves or with God when we eating death diets that fuels us. That don't even make sense scientifically. That sounds crazy when people say that. And I'm not judging y'all. I'm just saying how crazy y'all sound when you think that you can just eat what you want to eat, sleep who you want to sleep with, live how you want to live, do whatever you want to do, and you think that you can maintain a close relationship with the supreme deity, or who we call the creator, the omnipotent, omnipresent. Like, come on, we have to make that make sense. Your diet is spiritual. The way you live is a spiritual thing. The clothing you wear is spiritual. Everything in your body is electric. The more electric you put out, the more alkaline you are, the more high electric you put out, the closer you're in connection with your creator. There are certain things that blocks your connection with the creator. And we call these the 7 deadly sins of nature. Killing animals' flesh. That is a deadly sin of nature. Killing of animals. Eating the flesh. That's the 2nd deadly sin of nature. Avoiding alkaline water sources and drinking shit like soda pops and juices and pasteurized juices, which come from pasture, a fake biochemist that got you believing in all kinds of diseases that don't even exist. That is the 3rd deadly sin of nature. Having sex with people that is not on your same frequency, creating off-frequency babies. That is the 4th deadly sin of nature. Polluting nature's air and nature's earth. That is the 5th deadly sin of nature. Not meditating or not praying. Meditating is when God talks to you. Praying is when you talk to God. Affirmations is when you talk to the God in you. So not meditating, not praying, and not doing your affirmations. That is the 6th deadly sin of nature, because you have to feed yourself placebo. And the 7th deadly sin of nature is going against any aspect of its creation. If it don't reproduce, it's going against nature. See that? So that means buying foods that that don't come from the sun. Buying foods that that does not do good to your body. Buying foods that that brings on an inchemical or unbalanced hormonal balance in your body is a sin, because you're going against something that that is good for you, and you're bringing in bad entities, and your body is supposed to be the temple of God. So if the body is the temple of God, and then this temple is where the Ruach HaKodesh, or where the Spirit of God dwells in, for you can operate in your higher principle, and you're stopping that natural phenomenon, that means you're going against nature. This is a violation of nature, and you have to pay for that violation. So then y'all run and cry when y'all get cancer. Y'all run and cry when y'all get all types of so-called STDs. Y'all run and cry and y'all ready to get serious when all these life-threatening diseases creep upon you, but you've been breaking natural order your whole life, and you've been warned because God loves you so much. Your higher self actually loves your lower self, because it's telling you the shit you doing is wrong, but you so addicted to the sinful nature, you so addicted to the violation of nature, you keep doing it until it come bite you in your ass. Now all of a sudden you want a pity party, and you want everybody to have sympathy and empathy for you, but you've been the one continually violating nature your whole life, so now you have to pay the consequences. Now, luckily, God loves us, and we have something called poisonous bitter herbs that will beat your ass. So you either can take the poisonous bitter herbs the right way, starve yourself, eat the right nutrition, go through your healing crisis and let that body purge, feeling like you on your deathbed, but you really healing, or you can actually die. But there is no good one. Detoxification hurts like hell, but dying hurt worse. So you have to pay. You can't continually violate nature and think nature is not going to be the judge. You can't escape nature. You can't. What's that Rockefeller name? This boy got 7 or 8 heart transplants. His ass eventually died, didn't he? You can't live an evil life. Think you can do what you want to do and eat steak every day, all day, and drink milk and drink alcohol and smoke on your rich cigars every day while you fuck over people and rape the world of all of their natural resources, and think you can just keep living because you can go steal people's hearts and get black boys and black girls' hearts. That 8th heart transplant, it killed his ass, because you cannot get away from the judgment or the karmatic law of what, y'all? Nature. Nature will beat your ass if you disagree with it. But when you agree with nature, it's very, very basic chemistry. alkaline. Life is in it. Your hair start growing. Your skin look good. Cavities in your mouth start healing up. Blood be purified. Your poop don't stink. Fingernails start growing. I gotta cut these deals once a week. Fingernails start growing. You happy as hell for no reason. Your neurological aspects be popping. Come up with millions of ways to make money. You start healing the world. You heal yourself. You start loving yourself. Shit that used to be boring is now intriguing. You see what I'm saying? But when you live in that acidosis, that metabolic acid side of life, it burns. It's painful. Cancers, tumors, boils, cysts, pimples, bad skin, acne, obstructed bowels, diarrhea, constipation, hair falling out, skin looking crazy, gaining visceral fat, obesity, high blood pressure, toxic relationships, toxic mouth, gossip, don't want to read, can't stay focused, sitting around LED screens all day, stuck on your TV, stuck in gossip, watching celebrities live their lives while you're not living yours. See that's hell. That's what you call the lake of fire. That's hell. That's hell. It's time for y'all to choose, family. We have to choose. We have to choose. So yes, detoxification hurt, but that's what you got to pay for violating nature. I'd rather get my ass kicked for 90 days while taking Yahki geogenetic, feeling like I'm on my deathbed because my body is purging every 150 trillion cells of my body of mucus, of acid, and of pus, and of gnarly parasites, than to actually go and transition and then come back into my reincarnated body, having to still suffer from all the damn karma I done built up in this body. Give me the detox, please. I will take the herbs on aisle 1. Give me the herbs on aisle 1 before I take the reincarnated stage. I don't want to do that. I got to do this shit again. I got to suffer probably even more for the same thing. And then we see how people be coming out, and I don't want to make a joke out of this at all, because there's children that suffer from this, where they come out with one arm, or they come out Siamese twins, or they come out, with their nose, like they come out with neurological functionings. They come out with skin and tissues and bone, just being super abnormal. We wonder, and you ask yourself, how, like, dang, do God hate the world? How did somebody be born? You never think, like, man, they probably was living a crazy life in their past life to come back out like that. Like, what was they doing? They probably done brought all types of karma back in, boy. When you start thinking about people born blind or born without their senses, and you be like, man, what the hell? You can't escape your karma. What you put out come back, whether you in this body or not. Y'all better look, whether you in this body or not. And then we keep getting stuck in this reincarnation cycle. There's not supposed to be a reincarnation cycle. There's only supposed to be incarnation cycles. I'm in a different level of density. I'm in a different dimension, and you keep traveling dimensions until you reach the pure essence of who you are. But see, we caught up in this cycle. I like to call it the pharmaceutical cycle, because that's who taught it to us, where you keep going to sleep and awakening new bodies here on Earth. There's many different galaxies and many different spectrums that we have yet to see. But you caught up in this reincarnation cycle because of programming. You stuck and you caught up in believing time. You think time exists. Yes. You think you only got one body. You think that exists. You so infatuated with your birthday, aging the shit out yourself. I'm 32. Oh, it's the big 33. It's the big 34, man. I'm almost 40. You are placeboing the hell out of yourself and aging yourself because you believe that you truly do age. We don't see that. We live our lives based off of constructs and programs that they have put witchcraft into our subconscious minds. And we are living our lives based off of that. And you don't even realize that you are changing your molecular structure due to the belief that they have fed to your genome. Ooh, let me say that again. You don't realize that they are changing your molecular structure due to the program belief that they have suppressed into your genome pool. And you hear us say it all the time. Yeah, mama had high blood pressure. Daddy got high blood pressure. That's why I got high blood pressure. Yeah, mama had breast cancer. Yep, daddy had prostate cancer. So I might get them both. Says who? Genes do not control who you are. The environment and the way your mind interact with the environment control who you are. Let me say that again. Your genes do not control you. You can have the Philip O2 cancerous gene. It won't even cut itself on if you're living in an alkaline environment, showing you that it's the environment and the way you interact with the environment that will turn the cancerous gene on if you even got it. Just saying. I'm just saying. Yeah. All right, y'all got any questions for me? I'm going to get up out of here. Y'all know I can go all day. But look, we got to start. Let's start cutting off these artificial lights, family. Let's start cutting them off. Detoxing while breastfeeding. Low Melly 144. 4 plus 4 is 8. Plus 1 is 9. Peace to you. Do not detox while you're breastfeeding. Because all of that detoxification, all of that acidosis or metabolic buildup is going to actually go to the breast milk and the ductals of the breast milk, and you're going to feed all them toxins to the baby. So I say the best thing you can do while breastfeeding, if you want to clean up your diet, just turn it into a living and eat raw. Eat raw. Now, excuse me, y'all. There have been some times where, the woman was too built up with acids where we actually detox her and the baby through the breast milk. But, I think that's a little extreme, especially for an infant baby, depending on how old the baby is. I say until the baby get weaned from the breast, just go raw and start cleansing up your body slowly that way. How much coconut water should I consume in a day? Me personally, don't worry about the too much potassium. You need potassium. Potassium K chains. Potassium is a cation in the body. It acts as a cation. It brings on a positive charge. What else bring on? Calcium brings on a positive charge. Iodine brings on a negative charge. What you call anion or anionic. You cannot potassium overload on coconut water. Now, I have seen this in some Caucasian peoples, but you got to remember, you're a melanated being. You have different minerals than a lot of people got. So most of these studies where they say that you can become over poisoned by coconut water, it be studies based off themselves and not by us. We need calcium plus because we have more electricity. Our bones are more mineral dense. We have more iron phosphate inside of our bodies. We have more bone densities within our hips. If you look at our molecular structure, we can handle K plus or what you call potassium or potassium because it literally comes from the root word potash because somebody burnt some minerals in a pot and it left back in white ash. And this is where you get potash from, or potassium. And this is actually a conductivity of electricity. So I say you can drink about 30 to 40 ounces a day of coconut water. I drink more than that, and my body is perfectly fine. My family drink more than that. Their body is perfectly fine, and a lot of our close clients drink more than that, and their body is perfectly fine. We have to rewrite the her story and the history of disease and of blood work and of minerals due to the molecular structure, because our molecular structure is different than every other species on planet Earth. And I'm talking about the human species. So there is no particular, peculiar, special people like us. So minerals will react different in our bodies than they react different in theirs. That's the reason why you see our blood pressures is higher. You see our sugar content inside of our blood is higher. We see that certain foods, glycemic index, will raise the sugar higher within our blood. We see that our bones are thicker. We are naturally more muscular. We see our neurological function, and we have neuromelanin transmitters. A lot of them have just neurotransmitters. So, our bodies is different, meaning that we are going to actually require a lot more different minerals than any other species because we're so mineral dense. Yes, we are true. We're the true indigenous of Americas, but I just don't believe we only indigenous to the Americas. I believe that melanated people are indigenous to the whole earth. My movement, we got the whole thing trademark and everything. It's called Pan-Aboriginalist or Pan-Aboriginal, Aboriginal. And basically I believe that Black people or melanated people originate from all four corners of the earth. So you're going to find Aboriginals in Africa. You're going to find them in Australia. You're going to find them in Mexico. You're going to find them in Colombia. You're going to find them in the Dominican Republic. You're going to find them in America. You're going to find us in Asia. We are everywhere. They just hide us a lot. But all you got to do is Google Black people and type in the continent and country. And guess what? We will pop up. We will pop up. So if If there are 7 different root races and each root race have a different biological clock and have a different biological molecular structure and makeup, then that means that it's going to be a different food to each 7 root race. It's going to be a different type of water constituents to each 7 root race. And it's going to be a different way to treat them if they get ailments and disease. That's all I'm saying. I'm not being racist. I got love for all people. We heal all people. A lot of y'all don't know, but a lot of my clientele is in fact Caucasian. You know what I'm saying? But, and that's the reason why our minerals is mixed up the way there is inside of our different protocols and stuff like that. All right. They say I got too much potassium and I'm diabetic. Yeah, usually if you have diabetic, you do have too much potassium, especially in the kidneys. But think about it. Your insulin is messed up and you're not even getting glucose into the cells by way of insulin. So you are having a beta cell problem within the islands of Langerhans of the pancreas, and the kidneys are going down. So when your kidneys are going down, you do tend to store up too much K plus ions, or what you call potassium. So that can happen that way. But if you get them kidneys opened up and you can get them nephrons to get the filtering properly, you'll get rid of those minerals. Them minerals supposed to be offset and it's supposed to pass through your urine. You see what I'm saying? So if you can get your kidneys and your adrenals back online, you will see your potassium actually balance itself off with water and H3O2 within the cells and salt, or what you call sodium bicarbonate. These are the 3 factors that holds the potential integrity of the cells: potassium, sodium bicarbonate, and H3O2, or what you call jelly structured water. That is the main constituents that holds the integrity of the cells together. What about pimples on the private area? Usually you have pimples on the private area if you have too much yeast buildup. Yeast buildup in the private area will create pimples. Make sure that it's pimples and it's not canker sores, because you could be dealing with some type of herpes simplex virus. Remember, there's over 106 different types of herpes prone to humans. There is over 160 now through the whole entire zoonotic kingdom, meaning that it's 160 prone to animals, and out of those animals or mammals, humans are literally prone to 106 now, and the number keep rising every year. All of these different sexually transmitted diseases actually come from animals, y'all. We doing a whole entire live about this Thursday. I'm finna blow y'all mind with this, and it's literally called zoonotic diseases. And I mean, we're going to blow. So you got to make sure that they are in fact pimples. And when you look and you bust them pimples, you're going to see that, 25% blood come from them and 75% pus come from them. And this pus is a part of the lymphatic system. You start seeing pimples come through the skin when your body is backed up and your cells are constipated. So you're not defecating. You have to get rid of metabolic waste. If you do not get rid of metabolic waste through the kidneys by way of urine, then the metabolic waste will take a fontanelle. I tell y'all about this all the time, which stands for alternative route of elimination, where your skin will start opening up, creating garbage bags to hold the trash. Then you pop them and all of that garbage actually come from your skin. That's what pimples is. That's what cankers is. That's what tumors is. That's what cyst is. That's what all these things is. A fontanelle is just showing you that your body works. I'd rather me have pimples and acne for my skin to look good and that shit hiding inside of my bloodstream. You see what I'm saying? Because you have something called inverted bumps or inverted pimples and inverted canker sores. So give me the psoriasis. They let me know my skin working. Let me see some canker sores pop out. They let me know my skin working. They let me know my so-called immunological system is doing some type of fighting, and my NRF2 pathways is creating some type of pathway of elimination. My glutathione and my vitamin D hormones is actually working and actually secreting all these things outside of my cellular membrane. So everybody look, and that's why my book, Healing the Illusion We Call Disease, is going to be so amazing. Everybody is taking these symptoms as disease, and they're not diseases. This is your body magnificent way of healing itself. So that's powerful. You got pimples. That's powerful. You got bumps on your face. That is powerful. You see these things expressing its way through the skin, because that means your skin is actually eliminating the toxic waste. Do you know your skin is the largest organ on your body? Do you know your skin is considered the 3rd kidney? What is the functionality of the kidney? To filtrate metabolic waste and to get rid of salt, to get rid of unutilized minerals, to actually bring back in homeostasis of the of water and of salt into the body or the molecular structure, to actually deal with the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system, to keep your blood pressure at balance or at ma'at. So your kidneys are very, very important. So when your kidneys is not working, you're building up a lot of metabolic waste. You would drown from your own toxemia inside your body if your skin didn't take the blowback. So I'm glad your skin is taking the blowback and you're seeing trash cans or trash bags being created from it that we call them pimples. Because that means your skin is working and it is taking over the overnight shift because your kidneys went down and them deals got fired. So now let's rehire the kidneys. Let's put them back on drive training. Let's clean them up. Let's get the adrenals back online. Let's feed these kidneys some electricity, and let's get you filtrating again. And you'll start seeing that the bumps and the pimples will go away. It's literally that simple, y'all. We just make this stuff hard because the programming we've been subjected to. But now it's time to re-educate. It's time to remember, and it's time to relearn what true healing is. Yeah. I have CMOS for that. Everybody talking about CMOS. That CMOS ain't what it cracked up to be, y'all. It's not. Everybody talking about CMOS. CMOS is, and you got to be careful with your CMOS, especially if you got herpes or you having skin issues, because your golden CMOS have a bunch of L-arginine in it, and it totally outweighs L-lysine. And L-lysine is actually used to kick on the immunological system and to actually detoxify the cellular membrane of the cells. L-arginine is a cellular proliferator. Then you find high amounts of this vital amino or this amino acid inside of golden CMOS. So you see people that suffer from herpes and stuff like that take golden CMOS, and they tend to have more outbreaks and stuff like that. That's because the cellular proliferator in there. You have more seaweeds that's way more powerful than CMOS. Way more. Way more. Like, for instance, kelp. Kelp is 10 times greater than CMOS. You got club moss. You have bladderwrack, or what they call fucus. There's over 1,000 different type of sea vegetables, and all of them had their own offsprings and diversity. So, the CMOS got real big when Dr. Sebi was out promoting it, and he only used a specific type of CMOS, and that was that spaghetti string, that real skinny type of CMOS. You know what I'm saying? But like, CMOS is overrated, overpopulated. So many people are growing them now in pools and shit. It's a bunch of sea plants out there way more important than CMOS, family. So don't have a one-track mindset and just get stuck on CMOS. Yes, kelp. Kelp is powerful. Kelp is powerful. Zinc and copper is Brittany said talk about zinc and copper. Zinc and copper is dope. It's regulated by what you'll call the pituitary gland, the god Patu, that sits in the heavens or the holies of holies. And you can get that. Zinc is actually, you need zinc to actually create testosterone and cholesterol. Zinc is that factor that blow, like when you ejaculate in your woman. What zinc does is that's the explosive thing that shoots the actual sperm to the egg. So you need zinc, especially with testosterone. A lot of people a lot of men having too much estrogen buildup is because they're actually missing the zinc molecule, and zinc help you build up testosterone. Not only that, zinc acts as a glue to the DNA. So you have a bunch of different minerals. So you have something called minerals or vital minerals, and then you have something called vital amines or amino acids. Amino acids literally is what makes up the DNA. Then you have a sugar. Matter of fact, let me show y'all real quick. Here go my DNA structure right here. Let me show y'all this real fast. All right, let's talk about zinc and copper. All right, so this is what you would call a sugar phosphate backbone. All right, this black part. And the sugar is actually connected to the amino acids, and the amino acids is connected to each other. Now, what zinc does is, zinc is crazy. I love zinc because what zinc does to the DNA, or minerals does into the DNA, it literally stick the amino acids together, and it sticks the amino acids to the sugar backbone. So without zinc act like the glue to the fingers. Without zinc, you would not be able to even stick your amino acids together. Not only that, zinc is highly electrical. It's a conductivity mineral, same as iron and same as calcium. So we need zinc. Copper is too. Copper is actually a conduit of electricity too. And what regulates these minerals in the body is the thyroid, but what regulates that is the pituitary gland. So the pituitary gland is super amazing when it comes to the zinc and comes to copper. So we need all of those things. Herb where you can get zinc, copper, and gold from is called hydrangea root. Hydrangea root got zinc, got copper, and got gold in it. If you're just looking for regular zinc, you have something called quassia chips. Quassia chips got a whole lot of zinc in it as well. So zinc is truly, truly a amazing mineral. No, I'm not knocking sea moss. I'm just telling the truth about it. You know what I'm saying? I just see a lot of people, they think sea moss is the cure all. And sea moss soap is amazing. I wash my body with nothing but sea moss soap. I'm just saying that's not the cure all. And you most definitely don't use it if you got herpes. Not the gold one. That's all. Yes, hydrangea root, Angel Job. What else we got? Is it true that if you cut back on the starchy foods, such as potatoes, my eyesight will improve? Yes, that's very, very true. Alpha God Vaughn. Yes, that's very, very, very true. Because we see what starch does. Starch turns into acidity, and this acidic lactic acid actually chew away at the nerve endings. And we see, if you look at an eye, what get chewed away at the most is the octave nerve. So yes, if you stop eating starch, if you go on a mucusless diet, you don't even have to take herbs. It's going to take a long time, but if you go on a mucusless diet, you can clear your eyesight up. Yes, starchy foods is starch, man. These starch breaks down into acids. Anything that stay into the body, and starch can turn into pus too if you got dirty blood. Anything that stay in the body too long without being utilized or without being relieved by way of the kidneys and the urethra, it's going to turn into acidic blowback, whether we talking an alkaline food or not. You know what I'm saying? It's in the body for a purpose. It need to be utilized. If it's not being utilized, then it's going to start rusting or going through something called oxidative stress. This oxidative stress is going to turn it into an acidic compound, regardless on what it is. That's why we need to open up the meridian pathways of elimination. What else we got? That sugar though. Yeah, sugar crazy. But I love sugar, but it depends on the sugar you're talking about. So you have many different types of sugar. You got sucrose, you got dextrose, you got maltose, you got monosaccharides, you got disaccharides, then you got polysaccharides. I love me monosaccharides and I love me some disaccharides. Any other sugar is complex and it's hard to actually break down. So what it does is it store up as glucagon and glycogen. And then this is what raises the glycemic index. Like for instance, for let's just say grains, spelt glucose index crazy. Glycemic index is at a 72. That raises your blood sugar higher than any other damn form of bread in the world, y'all. Yes, spelt flour, spelt grain, spelt bread. Mind blowing, right? Look it up if you think I'm lying. It will raise your blood sugar higher than any other food substance in the world. You see that? So it's very, very starch forming. And it got gluten in it. And if you look up the word gluten, it comes from the word glue. It means to stick like. Or sticky like. So this actually caused something called a glutination inside of the body. And a glutination is where blood cells start sticking each other or clunking themselves together by a sticky substance called gluten. You see that? That's what starch does. Not only that, these things only break down to about 4 to 5 polypeptide chains. A peptide, my bad, y'all. A peptide is literally a protein chain, right? So what gluten does is it's hard to break down because not only is it a complex sugar that's wrapped around it, but it's a complex protein. When gluten breaks down, it cannot break completely down. So it breaks down into polypeptide chains, about 4 of them. These things is hard to actually absorb inside the blood capillaries of the duodenum. So what this shit does is it starts knocking off the villi within the stomach. And when it knocks off the villi in the stomach, it actually makes openings inside the stomach and it creates something called leaky gut. When it gets inside the gut, the immunological system responds because it looks at it like a foreign invader. This is where you call autoimmune disease or autoimmune response come from, because the phagocytes try to phagocytose the actual polypeptide proteins and eat it up, but it can't. So it's a whole war being set off within the molecular structure of the body by eating spelts and other gluten-contained starchy forming breads and flours, where it literally brings on a lot of diseases. Then when you finally get these polypeptides to break down into their chains, it actually passes the blood and brain barrier and makes it to the brain. And it stimulates, or it connects itself to something called a opiate receptor. And it tricks yourself and it starts producing a whole lot of dopamine. So now you happy from eating this damn grain all day. So now you can't put the spelt down. You constantly eating this shit. And the reason why is because it just stimulated and mind tricked your psychological expression. So now you want to keep eating and keep eating and keep eating it. Now, if you actually look at what gluten do to the body, gluten is known for kicking on estrogen, y'all. And that same thing I was telling y'all about, how if you keep kicking on estrogen, how your body going to have to keep making adipose tissue cells, which is these fat cells. It's going to start trying to hide the estrogen in places. Now you got man boobs, you got visceral fats, you got fat all around. Look, here go a fat thing right here. Check this out, family. Change my camera. My bad, y'all. I'm going on. Got some detox symptoms going on. Look. This is a regular person section, right? This is what gluten and spelt does. Burger, wheat. This is what this does. Look at all these adipose tissues. Look at this. Stomach nice and flat. Look at this. Flabby. Not only that, it's building up different fats on the organs too. Y'all see that? Build up fat on the heart, fat on the intestines, fats on the liver. So we got to stay away from wheat. We got to stay away from spelt. We got to stay away from anything that have gluten in it. Yeah, y'all, it's crazy out here. We don't know what food is. We learning. We learning, though. We learning. We learning. What about teff? Teff is good. I like teff. What about chickpeas? Chickpeas is mucus forming, so eat them slowly. Chickpeas is a part of the grain family, but it's more in the legume family. Right now, I'm talking about the caryopsis. So the caryopsis is what you would call gluten and spelt. That's a caryopsis plant. I'm not talking about the legume pod. So you got the caryopsis, you got the achene family, then you got the legume family. The legumes is your peas, that's your chickpeas and stuff like that. Chickpeas is not a bean. It's an actual pea. But we talking about the caryopsis. And the caryopsis is your spelt. Stay away from oatmeal. Yeah, I would stay away from oats. How about chitterlings? Game plan. You need to keep your ass from off my live, troll. Stay away from beans. Beans and rice, beans and bread. Or white rice, beans and grains is not good for the body. Now, black rice is cool. Quinoa is cool, but excessive quinoa can turn into mucus forming. So quinoa is cool, and I think you need to eat your quinoa raw. But too much quinoa is mucus forming. All rice outside of black rice is mucus forming. And not only is it mucus forming, well, let me not say it's mucus forming. It is alkaline producing, which creates mucus. Let me say that the right way. Okra is amazing. Okra is amazing. Cooked or raw, okra is amazing. It's good for the eyes. Okra will actually heal you of your diabetes. It's very good for the pancreas. It's good for libido. It'll have your penis stiff as a rock. So okra is amazing. That's a good aphrodisiac food. How do I gain weight? You can gain some good weights by eating teff, avocados, fatty acids, good on your walnuts. There's so many different ways to gain weight. Play with the circadian rhythm. Eat outside the biological clock, so you can build up more visceral fat. That's how I keep all my weight on me. Cause I went on my fast, I got too skinny, y'all. I said I would never in my life. I literally started tricking myself. I tricked my whole biological clock to keep my weight on. I love my weight. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you guys got to know your body, know your circadian rhythm, and you got to play with certain foods. That's how you can keep your weight on. Fiber is amazing. We need fiber. We need fiber. That's the reason why you should always keep your skin on your organic fruits. And there's certain fruits that you cannot juice because without the fiber, it is too sugary. And like grapes, the moment you juice them grapes, boy, it turns into straight pure sugar. And that will raise the glycemic index on that be super high. So do not juice your grapes, eat your grapes with the skin on them. But we need fiber. Fiber actually helps the villi inside, the microvilli inside our stomach get rid of our waste. Fiber is good because fiber makes you poop. And it makes your digestive, it makes that bile and the chyme inside of your system turns into solidified poop. And it keeps your poop from being runny and watery. So you actually need fiber. Fiber is a good thing. What do you say? What about, hold on, I love it. How do you lose weight? The best way to lose weight, stop eating. Stop eating. Stop eating. Yes. Calorie deficit. You have to do calories deficit. Make sure that you're not packing on a lot of calories and figure out your body weight, figure out your calorie deficit and stay under that. And then get active and get in cardio. Don't eat. An all fruit diet, you would drop everything. You want to lose some weight, go on an all fruit diet for 30 days. All fruit diet, 30 days. You'll lose some weight. Trust me. It's all this in your book. All this is in my book and more. My book is 21 chapters, family. We're releasing some smaller versions too. But man, hey, my book, 21 chapters, Healing the Illusion We Call Disease. It's going to change the world. I promise you, y'all. I got my appendix removed. How can I help my body recover? Your appendix is a very, very important organ on your body. Your appendix actually is in the colon. And the cecum colon is actually what produces bacteria. So you're going to have a lot of bacteria issues because you're not producing enough to help break down your food. So you need to, if you are missing the appendix, you need to make sure that you're super chewing all your foods. Make sure that you're eating foods that ferment fast, like fruits and watery vegetables. I will stop eating all fruits because you ain't going to have nothing that's going to even try to assist in breaking that down but your hydrochloric acid of your stomach. So you most definitely need to be super chewing your food. You need to eat certain times of the day. You need to only eat about 1 or 2 meals a day. And when you eat, super chew your food, for real. That's the only thing I can really tell you. And don't be mixing your eating with waters, with drinks and stuff like that, because you need your hydrochloric acid to be as strong as possible to actually break down your foods, because that's what you're relying on, because now you're not producing the right bacteria or microbiota or microbiotas or microbials that you need to actually help you ferment and break down your foods. Is pea protein good? When you isolate anything outside of your food that is not good for you, it creates an imbalance in your body. The moment that your body see that pea protein, whether you getting it from your Beyond Meat or whether you getting it from pea protein, GMC, to build muscle, the moment your body recognize the pea protein, is going to start looking for the rest of the food. Same thing if you eat a raisin. The moment you eat a raisin, your body going to be looking for the grape. Same thing if, yeah, I got a lot of mucus coming up now. I love it. The moment you eat a raisin, your body going to be looking for a grape. The moment you eat one of them dried prunes, your body going to be looking for the plum. The moment that you eat anything that's actually dried or dehydrated, your body is going to look to rebuild the actual real one. So say if you eat a raisin right now, your body say, oh, hell no, I got to turn this back into a grape. So what your body is going to do, your body is going to start pulling all types of water from the cells, dehydrating the cells to rehydrate the raisin and turn it back into a grape. And then it's going to have to go through its digestive process again just to re-break it down. So whenever you get into things like that, I stay away from it. Activated charcoal is amazing, man. That's one of the most detoxification elements in history. They've been using that since the time of Olympus, since the time of Atlantis, since the time of Lemuria, since the time of Sumeria. Activated charcoal is amazing, y'all. Use it for your teeth. Use it in some water to drink it down. Use it to get mucus out of the body. So that's a good one. All right, fella, I'm finna get up out of here, y'all. I love y'all indeed and in truth. I got some more herbs to take, some more water to drink. He said, if you want to lose weight, work at Amazon. Y'all funny. I'm going to get your book. Yeah, the book should be done hopefully by my birthday, July 11th. Hopefully. I want my book to come out the same time my Netflix series air. That'd be amazing. All things in divine timing, though. All right, I'm finna get up out of here, y'all. Peace, love, light, healing, peace to the gods, peace to the earth. I love y'all. Peace. Make sure you detoxing. Get on them herbs. Change your diets. Remember, it's better out the end. You should be seeing mucus come from everywhere. Ears, eyes, nose. As long as you're around acidic environments like this, you're around pollutants, you in dirty air, you taking showers, you gotta detox, family. Make sure that you are detoxing. And stay away from these LED lights, family. Try that today. Go complete black tonight. No phones, no laptops, no computers, no TVs, no nothing. Go completely black tonight, family. I challenge you. All right, peace.